out of the hospital. We'll get a medical report. We'll get a description from his doctors, and to bring a claim against unjust, excessive police abuse and force in this case.
We were in two neighborhoods where this incident took place. Spoke to several eyewitnesses. One of them said that she saw Thomas Jones running with something in his hand, something dark, but she says it did not, or she could not vouch with any certainty that it was a gun. A second eyewitness said he also saw Thomas Jones, but it appeared that there was some sort of a cloth, a dark cloth in his hand. Again, he too could not vouch that there was a gun. Police still have not found the weapon they say was used to shoot an officer in the hand. Now, where the video was taken, that was a second location. We spoke to one man, and he said that he saw Jones behind the wheel of a car about 2 blocks before it came to a dead stop. He said it appeared that Jones had slumped over to the left. He said it appeared that Jones had passed out. All of these, of course, questions we're going to be asking the police commissioner and the mayor when they hold a 6 o'clock press conference. We do want to say that a source close to the mayor says they're very unhappy about the way the police department is being portrayed here in Philadelphia. They say back in the 80s, a major effort was undertaken in order to improve relations with police and the communities they serve, sort of get away from the tough policing that marks the Frank Rizzo era. Now, the mayor and the police commissioner did meet up together today. I asked the commissioner when kicking is considered part of procedure, and he said, well, it's not something that's taught in the academy, but police make the determination when they're in a life and death situation. Reporting live from Philadelphia, Deborah Therick. Back to you, Judy.
Thank you, Deborah. And joining us now from Philadelphia with more on this story, including potential political fallout, Tom Ginsberg of the Philadelphia Inquirer and Jill Porter of the Philadelphia Daily News. Jill Porter, to you first. Are there enough facts in yet on this case to be able to make a determination whether the police were at all justified in what they did?
I don't think there are. I think that if you look at the video, you can see that the police are surrounding the suspect. You can't see him. You can't see whether he's subdued. There are reports that indicate he was biting a police officer at the time and wouldn't let go of his thumb. And that's why I think that the police commissioner and the mayor have handled this quite well in saying, let's wait. We only see this videotape, and it's obviously very inflammatory, but let's see, let's get all the facts before we make some conclusion about how the police acted, although I do agree that kicking in and of itself seems so barbaric that it's very difficult to find a way to rationalize that, but you have police officers who are in a very high state of emotion and not necessarily going by the book.
Tom Ginsberg, how is the city reacting to this so far?
Well, the city seems to be riven, really. The black community is enraged, and to a certain point, people are taking very strong stands on both sides. As far as the convention goes, everyone is expressed anything from sadness just to remorse that this seems, they say, to be tarnishing the image just a few weeks before the convention.
And same question to you about how the city's reacting to this, Jill Porter. Is the city just split in half split along racial lines here?
You know, I have to say that I don't perceive it that way. I think that there is a certain number of people in the black community who feel, as Jerry Mondesire, the head of the NAACP, that this rises to be a racial incident. Otherwise, I assume they wouldn't be filing the suit. But I think that there's a certain amount of calm. I think that there is a respect for the police commissioner. There were African-American police officers involved as well as white police officers. So I think that there's a split as to whether or not it's perceived to be a racial incident. So
I was just going to, if you don't mind, interrupt here and get back to Tom. Tom Ginsberg, what is the sense about the convention? You've been talking to people, Republicans planning this convention. Are they concerned that this could disrupt anything they're trying to do?
Well, quite the contrary. The Republicans are putting out a concerned but confident face on it. I guess that's the way to phrase it. George W. Bush made a comment about it yesterday, as did President Clinton, and giving a very measured response, saying we have to wait for all the facts and expressing that he's aware of it. But the Republicans are really pointedly not talking about it and don't seem to be thinking it will become an issue for them. It's different, however, when you talk about what's going to go on the street. There are lots of protests that are planned, and from what I can gauge by talking to various organizers, this incident will at least energize them, if not bring more people into Philadelphia. The idea that it would scare people away is, I'm not finding that.
Jill Porter, what kind of protests are being planned?
Well, there are all of the people who were in Seattle, and just every organization that you can think of are coming, and there are lots of planning both on the part of the police and on the part of the protesters, and I think that clearly, I think the potential for this happening during the convention is really going to be minimized by this. I think the police have been in a lot of training. They know what to anticipate, and that's a very different situation than happened out on the street corner this week.
Tom Ginsberg, is there anything that Governor Bush could say at this point? You did say that he's commented yesterday, but is there anything else he could say or the Republican Party could say to smooth the situation at all?
I don't see that's the way things are going. It seems to be attention is focused on the mayor and the police commissioner and the police department itself. And I think that the protesters who are planning to come here, who were already planning to make a statement about police brutality, what they call police brutality and opposition to the death penalty and other things, they will just carry these further. And I think it is a good point that Jill made, that in fact their goal is actually to take the issue to the Republicans and not even necessarily to the police. So you may not have, you're talking apples and oranges as far as confrontations in a way.
All right, Tom Ginsberg with the Philadelphia Inquirer, Jill Porter with the Philadelphia Daily News. We thank you both for joining us, and we will see you both in Philadelphia. Still ahead on Inside